Alright, good afternoon, fellas. My name is Damian Alexander, and I'm here to inform you guys on why basketball student athletes should be paid. The reason why I chose this topic was because I'm a student here at Foster State University, and I do play on the basketball team, so I do understand what Division I basketball players go through. Secondly, I've done previous research on this topic and been on the spectrum on both sides of why they should be paid and why they shouldn't be paid. But deep down inside, I think they should be paid. And lastly, because professional athletes have spoken out on social media about this issue, so those are the reasons why I chose the topic. The three main points that I wanted to talk about in this presentation are athlete schedules being more or equivalent to full-time employees, NCAA profits from just basketball, and why NCAA should allow student athletes to be paid through alternate outlets. So here are some interesting facts I found at last year's Duke versus North Carolina. At last year's Duke versus North Carolina game at Duke, a ticket resold for $10,652. So a fan probably profited almost $10,000. So let's imagine he paid $500 for the ticket, which is reasonable for a Duke versus North Carolina game. He profited $10,000 just because you want to sell your ticket. And also, NCAA pulled in $761 million from NCAA tournament alone in 2017, according to ESPN. So I found those two statistics interesting and felt like I just wanted to tell y'all about it. So now I just want to ask a few rhetorical questions, so don't answer back. Do you think it's fair that NCAA profits from players? Is it fair that fans profit from players? And is it fair that coaches are paid millions and players are paid nothing? So here's just a brief travel schedule for overnight trip. You know, we all been a part of those, so you know, we can all relate to it. So but Division I, they're traveling across the country for the games and tournaments and road trips and all that. So this is just overnight stay. So you drive to the airport, catch a plane, drive to the hotel, you check in, go to sleep, wake up, eat breakfast, check out of the hotel, travel to the arena, go through your pregame rituals, routine, then you play in the game, travel back to the airport, catch a plane, and you drive back to campus after that. Just looking at this schedule, it's hard to find time to do your schoolwork because you guys know when we're on the road, we kind of think more basketball terms. You're not really thinking about, got assignment due here, got assignment due there. And when you are doing assignments, it does take longer. And I know my mind just really gets distracted when it comes to doing schoolwork on road trips and being in a hotel because, being in a hotel, you want to relax, just chill out. So that brings me to just your everyday daily schedule. So you got classes, you got practice, you got individual workouts. This is for Division I athletes though. Practice workouts, individual workouts, team lift, gotta get taped, got rehab if necessary, gotta eat, gotta sleep, gotta study hard. It's a lot of things you gotta do just to be a student athlete. And one thing the NCAA doesn't realize, it's hard to be a student while being an athlete at the same time. And they emphasize the student part. So that's why I think that. And according to the IRS, an employee employed on average at least 30 hours of service per week and 130 hours per month is considered a full-time employee. So under those circumstances, I think they qualify to being full-time employees because I know they're putting in more than 30 hours of labor a week. So NCAA profits from basketball alone. So the tournament television rights brought in $821.4 million, and ticket sales brought in almost $130 million according to Sports Illustrated. So just right there, that's almost $1 billion just from the NCAA tournament alone. And then it brings me to my next point, which I found very interesting. March Madness accounts for more than 75% of NCAA's revenue, according to the CNBC. So this is why I only wanted to focus on basketball student athletes because they're bringing in the majority of the revenue. And basketball teams are usually the smallest teams, other than tennis. We got one player sport athletes, but other than that, team-wide sports, it is one of the smallest teams. So it would be easier to pay just basketball players, but according to that, that's why I want to bring that statistic up. So here's Zion Williamson. He's currently a freshman forward at Duke University, and is projected to be the number one NBA draft pick this year. This past season, he was a man among boys. We all know that. We all watched his games. Since he's been in college, Duke games are up 30% from last year's rating. ESPN ratings have gone up. NCAA tournaments have gone up. Fans are profiting from autographed merchandises, and jobs such as commentating and journalists are profiting just because he's in college. So more stories need to be released about him. More people are talking about him. More hours of talking about him. So like, he's bringing in so much money for other people, and he's not getting paid a single dime. So I think that's kind of unfair, and I think NCAA should. That's what brings me to my next point of NCAA allowing players to be paid. So these are some benefits I think that would happen if NCAA pays its players. First of all, they'll bring in more international players, and I think that because international players, they typically think, well, college basketball not getting paid, and I'm getting paid in overseas. Well, getting paid to play professional at this age. So like Luka Doncic and Dirk Nowitzki, he was playing pro basketball before he came to America. So those two players, they played pro before coming to America, and they were able to go to the draft after that 1 year eligibility once they turned 19. So I think they'll draw more international players. All top players will want to attend college, and my three examples for that was Terrence Ferguson, Brandon Jennings, and Emmanuel Mundi. Emmanuel Mundi was the second overall rated high school player coming out of high school in 2014, and he went overseas and came back, was drafted pretty high. I think it was top 10. And Brandon Jennings was the number 1 player in his class. So like, just things like that. Some players are thinking to go overseas or skip college basketball because they're not getting paid and they know they're worth the money. And some players are already pro ready, so why not, pay them? And also, paying athletes to bring more fans. Like, we seen what happened with Zion Williamson. I know everyone here watched more college basketball games just because we seen Duke on the schedule. He's very exciting to watch, and if you pay the players, I think it will bring in more fans, and the fans generate revenue. So I don't think you would be losing as much money as you think you would be. So in conclusion, the NCAA should either pay players or allow players to be paid. Even though they lose money if they pay players, then at least allow players to be paid, because they're basically saying one other company, so say McDonald's wants to sponsor Zion Williamson to profit off him, and he can make money too. But the NCAA is doing the same thing by they're basically telling other companies they can't do what they're doing, basically. So like, NCAA is keeping Zion literally hostage from making money elsewhere, but they still are profiting off him. So I think that should change. I think that should change. And that's my presentation. Thank you for coming, and I hope you guys learned a little bit about NCAA and why I think they should play.